I want you now to look at the second two poems that are mentioned in the lecture. These two poems have in common that their authors are both African Americans. However, the, the time span is a little bit different. County Cullen, writing in For a Lady I Know, this poem was written in 1925. And the Gwendolyn Brooks poem was written in 1960. Great difference in the attitude and the emphasis of these two poems. County Cullen, an African American poet, wrote during what was called the Harlem Renaissance, which was a time when a lot of African American artists got together and produced music, art, poetry, much of it part of their own experience and cultural background. And so County Cullen in this poem is being perhaps a little bit sarcastic, I guess is a good word, being a little bit critical of a lady he knows. And I'm going to let you decide as you write this, what race was the lady that County Cullen was writing about? And what is the reference that he's making here? She even thinks that up in heaven her class lies late and snores, while poor black cherubs rise at 7 to do celestial chores. Is this a lady a holdover from a different time? Is she not quite up with how things have changed? What is Cullen saying here? And then we look at the poem by Gwendolyn Brooks, We Real Cool. Now, this poem is written in dialect. Gwendolyn Brooks does a lot of her poetry in dialect. And we're going to look at another one of her poems later on. I'm going to let you figure it out for yourselves. I was at a lecture the other day where it was said that we fall into different generational groups. The baby boomers are a group with their own subcultural tendencies and interests and so forth. The me generation followed the baby boomers, and they have a different set of plans and standards and ways of looking at things. And so this poem falls sort of between the end of the baby boomer time and the beginning of the me generation. And it speaks of a hopelessness of youth in some instances. You notice that in italics, the poem it's explained. The pool players, 7 at the golden shovel. We real cool. We left school. We lurk late. We strike straight. We sing sin. We thin gin. We jazz June. We die soon. The hopelessness of the black young person in the 60s, where death is always very much part of the overall attitude and picture that they have had in those days. An interesting view into a culture from someone who is part of that culture.